Brianna.
I'm Kira. I'm Autumn.
I'm Johnny.
And it's time to wake up in Provincetown.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake Up, Wake Up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey. Wake up, wake up. Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up.
Everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
1 sec.
We're doing great.
Yeah, it is May 31st. I have a very extra special guest host today, Miss Brittany Ross. Bob is out of town, so I had to call on my good friend Brittany. We were supposed to host a few months ago together, but I had one of the worst travel days of my life.
Oh my God.
And I missed it, so I'm very happy to have you here with me today.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you, babe.
Have you recovered from Mem Day weekend yet?
I'm like working on it still.
Good.
I think it's gonna be a process,
Yeah.
but we're getting there. Yeah.
Same. Memorial Day weekend was obviously incredible here in Provincetown. The weather was immaculate, which I think really made the turnout really incredible.
Totally.
I think it was the busiest Mem Day I've seen.
It definitely was the busiest that I had
Yeah,
seen.
it was wild. I know going into the weekend, a lot of people felt like there was a lot of parties going on and they weren't sure how that was going to go, but I went to a bunch of them and all of them were packed.
Totally.
Yeah. On Saturday, I did so much this past week. If anyone knows me, they know I don't do much. So to do 4 things in one day was really incredible. I went to Boy Beach for the 2nd time in a week, but I did do better with my sunscreen this time.
Good. Babe.
Yeah, responsible, you know. And then I came over to here to the Provincetown Brewing Company for the pre-tea tailgate hosted by my good friend Britta, which was wild and crazy. And in true white men taking space from women, our friends Eric and Evan won the beer pong tournament on Memorial Day weekend. Great work, guys.
Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. You were at that party too, right?
Briefly, yeah.
Did you get up to anything wild and crazy?
I didn't really. I had a lot of piano bars, believe it or not.
Wait, it wasn't the piano bar, it was the Shiano bar.
It was the Piano Bar, which is also happening tonight at the
No
Crown and
way.
Anchor at 9:30, believe it or not.
Work.
Yeah.
So that's you and Marissa?
And Marissa Miller and Kate Burns.
Work.
Yeah.
Do you do a different set or is it?
We do a totally women-driven, totally different set than my usual fare.
That's so
It's
incredible.
very exciting.
When did Marissa get into town?
Marissa got here about 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
Yes. Oh, one of my best friends just relocated here to do a show with me and also to work at the Crown this summer. So she got here a couple weeks ago. She's settling in. It's
Yeah.
very exciting.
Mm-hmm. I also went to Water's Edge Cinema with Trevor last weekend to see Furiosa. Water's Edge is so fun. Furiosa is incredible. I know people are poo-pooing it. I don't know. A lot of people, like Mark said, Mad Max was one of his favorite movies ever. I think Furiosa is phenomenal. I don't know if it quite lived up to the Mad Max. Fury Road, that's what I mean. It was really good. I don't think it was quite as epic. Because I remember Mad Fury Road having like some of the most incredible cinematic scenes I've ever seen in my life. And this was a very good movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I went to the opening underwear party at Purgatory. Well, I just went to Porch Bar and, you know, like the allure of an underwear party, I can't stay away. Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. It's so weird.
Wait, why?
I
Why?
don't know.
That's shocking. I feel like it's not hard to get you in your underwear, Brittany. Just at an underwear party, it's tough. I hear you.
Yeah, you know, it's not really my vibe. Cheers to that.
Yeah. Monday, I hosted trivia here at the brewery. It was absolutely insane here. We had, I think, 18 teams. I'm hoping that's what it'll be like for the duration of the summer. And then I scooted over to Bob's late night show, which was so good. Such a good crowd, featuring Jen Cabral as always. Yeah, it was tons of fun. Let's get up to some news. I know Sam is going to talk about some stuff going on this upcoming weekend, but I do give a few shout outs. The Babes and Boys Passion Fruits Playhouse is happening this Sunday at the Gifford House. It's going to be tons of fun. Did you help them with their accoutrement?
Helped is like a generous word, but I was present for some things.
Good.
There was helping, yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but Sam and Carmen from Babes and Boys put out on Facebook a few weeks ago that they needed massive amounts of cardboard. I stopped by their house a week or two ago, and there were massive amounts of cardboard. And they have begun transforming that into the accoutrement and decoration for their party this Sunday. It's going to be tons of fun. And if you haven't stopped by the Gifford House yet, there are so many changes happening over there. Most excitingly, I think they redid the bathrooms downstairs because I don't think it was the most welcoming space for everyone. And as a gigantic location with one toilet in the entire establishment, I think it was definitely constructed with the idea that there would only be people standing to pee in the space. Which obviously our community is growing and evolving, and we need
Let me sit.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me sit.
Exactly. So a big hat off to Steve and the team over there for prioritizing that and making it more inclusive, welcoming space. The courtyard, I think, opens this weekend.
Yes,
I saw they
so.
just put in their big bar. It looks beautiful. I think that is going to be one of the spaces to be. Honestly, the top of Carver's the place to be between Shipwreck, Gifford House. You can just go back and forth and drink till your little heart's desire, which is what my heart
Sometimes
desires.
you do.
Exactly. Brittany, I want to talk about some of the stuff you've got going on this summer. You are booked and blessed and busy.
Yes.
You mentioned that Marissa was in town. The two of you are going to be hosting Broadway on the Beach together.
That's true. Mondays at 7:30, starting June 17th all the way through September at the Crown and Anchor, Broadway on the Beach.
Buy your tickets for the July 1st show now if you want to see me. So each week for the Broadway on the Beach is going to be like themed.
Yeah, we're going to have themes. We have a rotating roster of local guests as well as one or two guests from the Broadway itself that will come into town and we'll all perform together.
Yeah. Marissa has performed on Broadway before, correct?
She did the Broadway National Tour of Wicked as Galinda.
Work.
Which makes sense if you know her, right?
Yeah, exactly. Take that, Ariana Grande. Just kidding. You also, last fall, you did a few shows of the Green Fairy and also for this Valentine's Day, yours, Andrew's, and Joe's show. Yeah. And it was so popular. It was everyone's favorite show this past fall, and it's back.
It's back. Now we've extended it from just one. It started as one piece, and then we wrote a second one for Valentine's Day. And now it's 6 completely separate musicals, all telling a through line of these two characters and kind of their origin story, how they got to where they are, and where they're heading in the future. It's very exciting. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah,
and that is going to be Sunday nights at 9:00 in the Cabaret at the Crown and Anchor.
Yeah, it's like, why write one show when you can write 6?
When you can write 6, right?
They've been diligently working on it all winter. I'm so excited. And in addition, Joe is doing Green Fairy. He's also doing his own show called It's Not John. And it's going to be all his own music that he wrote. He's played me some tracks. I'm sure he's played you some tracks too. It's amazing. I'm so excited for it. I think
that's
it's
Tuesday night.
Tuesday nights. Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of the shows that you can't miss this summer. And obviously you're the Broadway diva of Provincetown.
One of many, I
no,
think.
I'm the one, the only.
Okay. I'll take it.
But you're gonna be in a show at Wellfleet Harbor's Actors Theater.
Yes. What is what we call it.
I love that.
What is an amazing place to work and an amazing place to go see live theater if you're interested in live theater. It's in Wellfleet, and I will be playing May and Reefer Madness all through the month of July.
Reefer Madness is one of my favorite shows. There's a movie version of it. It's based off like an early 1900s, what's the word? propaganda film.
Yes.
Basically, they said if you smoke weed, you'll be a monster and you'll eat babies and stuff like that.
Wild.
And so Reefer Madness the musical is a kind of parody of that.
Yes.
They like take the content of that and like kind of expand upon it. The movie's phenomenal. Who played your character was Anna Gasteyer.
Yes. Word.
When does that open?
That opens, I believe, we preview July 3rd and then we open July 5th.
Wow.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a busy week for you.
It really is. Yeah.
How are you working? Do you have one of those things from Harry Potter where you can be in multiple places at once? Or
I
something?
do. Yeah.
I'm like, how are you doing this all? Okay, let's do a few news stories. I'm not going to go into details on this because I don't think you should be getting this information from Wake Up. But Donald Trump was found convicted of 34 felony charges yesterday. Claps all around. I think the not funniest, but I think one of the most interesting things is like he is no longer legally allowed to vote in his home state. So he won't be allowed to vote for himself for president. Yeah. Sentencing, I think, is July 5th, which is a few days before the Republican National Convention. What a good birthday present. It's a few days before the Republican National Convention, which is where he is expected to be announced as the presidential nominee for the Republican Party. I think we are, not that we hadn't already entered territory that has not been tread before, but it's just going to get wilder and weirder, I think, as things move forward.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. Let me see. So I talked last week, and I want to clarify and hopefully not make people more angry than they already were at me. But last week I had suggested the idea of dogs being banned from Commercial Street. And I want to preface this by saying that I have no power or authority. It seems like people thought for some reason that I had power or authority about that. I have no power or authority and the most minuscule amount of influence in this town. I mostly brought up dogs because I think in the conversation of how to make Commercial Street safer, there's been so many ideas thrown around from banning electric vehicles. And I think what people don't understand is a portion of those electric vehicles are accessibility vehicles so that people can enjoy, who wouldn't be able to enjoy Commercial Street the way that so many of us get to enjoy it if not for these accessibility vehicles. And I think having that debated on a town stage, I'm sure makes those people feel awful. There are so many people that use their bikes and bike on Commercial Street to rush from job to job. There's people that work 3 jobs in a day. And not a lot of people had a problem debating that. So bringing up dogs, I think it was a little frustrating to see that some people had stronger reactions to banning dogs than to limiting people, their accessibility, and their safety on their way to work, especially considering dogs, I guess, are the one thing that don't have an expressive purpose of being on Commercial Street. They're not working in businesses. They're not supporting businesses. They are pooping and peeing all over the place. There's so many dogs. And a reminder that, like, as someone who bikes on Commercial Street, every group is going to get judged by the worst actors within that group. And Brittany can attest how much I absolutely love dogs. Kind of more than people most of the time. But just like me being someone who is a very safe biker as I'm traversing Commercial Street, I'm going to get judged by the wackos who go 20 miles an hour weaving in between people. All dogs are going to be judged by the dog that sat next to me on Boobala's patio this past week and barked the entire time. So I think everyone needs to just take a step back, be a little more pragmatic about people's safety on Commercial Street. And just like we've talked in the past about how cars can adjust their behavior to keep people safer, bikers, pedestrians. I think including dogs and dog owners in the conversation of how they can adjust their behavior to make everyone safer is responsible. And I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. Maybe talk to a therapist about that. But like I said, I love dogs. Not to piggyback directly onto this, but this Sunday there is going to be the Mutt Strut here at Provincetown Brewing Company. We used to do Yappy Hour every Sunday and it was a big success, but it's going to be hosted by Mama JC right here on the patio at the Provincetown Brewing Company. There is going to be doggy red carpet awards, person pup lookalike contests, and more. And it is going to benefit the Samson Fund, which is a veterinary care facility serving the Outer Cape and Islands. Yeah, it's going to be tons of fun. But don't be mad at me about the dogs. It's just a conversation.
It's not that deep, guys.
Yeah. Everyone, including dog owners and dogs, try to keep everyone safe on Commercial Street. Especially, we were all reminded how crazy Commercial Street can get this past Memorial Day weekend.
Truth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's time for a video. So tonight at the Treadwell Gallery is going to be their first opening of the season. It is Benwa Kramer. He is going to be showing off his new tarot cards. They are some of the most beautiful art I've ever seen in my life. Check this out. Good morning, everyone. We are here on the 3rd floor of the Whalers Wharf in Benwa's studio. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, there's so much gorgeous stuff in your studio. There's tour stuff behind us, but we have all of Benwa's stuff here. So you have a show coming up. It's all tarot based. How did you get into tarot? What interested you in it?
So it was really during lockdown tarot had always sort of been around in my life, but during lockdown I took the opportunity to finally start truly learning it, and I would pull a card a day, research about it, journal about it, and then the idea came to me, which was a total light bulb moment, was what about a Provincetown themed tarot deck?
Totally.
Tarot, for those that don't know, is this centuries old practice of using these cards, 78 cards, that are filled with symbols and archetypes that we can use to gain new perspectives and examine our lives. And so when I had this idea to take these ancient symbols and archetypes and filter it through the lens of Provincetown, it was like this total aha moment. So I made 2 huge lists, one of all of the meanings behind the tarot cards and one of anything Provincetown that I could imagine. And I started to try to pull parallels to make assignments for each card. And then I started designing them. And I started doing them digitally in these black and white images.
Oh, so cool. Yeah, this was part of our holiday gift guide this past
so
year.
I've sold these at the Holiday Market and Art Gazel. These are black and white images done on a Procreate on the iPad, inspired by like an old school styles of printmaking. But then when this show was coming up, I wanted to do some big color versions of these. It was really a foregone conclusion to do it in the style of white line woodblock printing, which is this incredibly iconic Provincetown style of printmaking.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was developed here around 1915 by the Provincetown printers and Edith Lake Wilkinson, where you have one block of wood that is carved, and then you paint the block itself, transfer the paper, and rub it. It was a way of doing woodblock printing without carving a bunch of individual blocks for the colors. You could do it all on one block.
Oh, cool.
So I had these panels laser engraved, which took a big part of the process out of my hands. And so this is like what we're working on right now. This is the Temperance card. The Temperance card is all about balance. It's about examining the excesses and deficiencies in our lives and seeing how we can bring them into harmony so that we might, better move along our journey towards enlightenment and growth. In my version of the card, I chose to examine the ecosystems of Provincetown. We're at this like really delicate confluence of land and sea and sky here. And so the idea of balance among the elements is such a huge part of what this place is. So I have the sky represented by the cormorant, the sea represented by the oyster, and then the mushrooms that represent the land, and also the alchemy that comes from when things can find this balance and produce something that's greater than the sum of its parts.
Awesome. How do you pick, because you're doing 10 cards.
So there's 78 cards in a deck.
Right.
And ultimately when the deck is completed, which I've got about like 19 designs left to do of the black and white, ultimately, when that's completed, there'll be 78. For this show,
You'll do like a printed deck?
I'll do a printed deck of the black and white. And at this point, I'm thinking, now that I'm starting to do some in color, there may be a color deck to follow. Now. But this is like years in the making. Right. Hoping to have the black and white deck done by the end of this year, hopefully. But for this show, I chose 10 of the designs, and I'm doing 10 prints of each.
What made you pick the 10 you picked?
Ones that I felt would lend themselves to this print style, ones that were very graphic, also cards that people had expressed being drawn to at some of the other art shows that I've done with the black and white.
So your show is going to be at the Treadwell Gallery on May 31st?
Yes, the reception is on May 31st, Friday at 7 p.m., the Treadwell Gallery, but they'll be available to see all season long.
Oh, awesome.
Both the prints themselves and the panels, the birch panels from which they're made, will be on display and for sale.
Oh, no way. Are you willing to let go of the birch panels?
Well, that's the idea behind the printmaking is, it's limited edition. So
I
once
guess
they're done, they're done. And you can always make more in like a different color, a different size.
Right. But it's reassuring the people with their 10 prints that there's only 10.
Yeah.
Because you're
so
letting go of
fast.
it. Nice. Awesome. So we will see you Friday, May 31st, 7 o'clock probably?
7 o'clock it starts, yeah.
Awesome. This is entirely gorgeous. I can't wait to maybe get a print and definitely get a deck in the future. Awesome. Thanks so much, Benwa.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Benwa. Stop by the Treadwell Gallery tonight to check that out. I honestly think those are going to go very quickly, so stop by early. Please welcome Jadi and Akusua. They are the organizers of Womxn of Color Weekend here in Provincetown, and we're kicking it off today, correct?
We technically kicked off Wednesday.
Ooh,
yeah.
So it's growing. It's more than a weekend at this point.
Yes,
You're just a day or two shy of a week.
Yes.
Soon it'll be a week.
We're on our way.
So tell us a little about how Womxn of Color Weekend started, why it's important to have a weekend like that here in Provincetown.
Sure. So Womxn of Color Weekend is one of the 5 events hosted here in P-Town that are focused on women-identified folks, started by Lynette Molnar, managed by Women in Provincetown Women. And it started in 2007 originally. And it was mostly Lynette being asked by women of color folks that, she knew in the community saying, can we have an event? Like, what does it mean to actually gather and cultivate experiences around our lives, around our needs, around, what it is that we need. And so she answered the call and created Women of Color Weekend. And then in 2017 is when she asked our team if we would help take over and kind of breathe new life into it, see if we could not, turn it around, offer some different perspectives. So this particular planning squad that you're seeing here this weekend, we've been doing it since 2017.
Were y'all already a squad or?
No.
How did you pull everyone in? How did everyone get involved?
By the grace of all the gods. So actually what happened is Lynette asked me to take over the weekend because I had been hosting open mics in the greater Boston area for the LGBTQ plus communities of color, knowing that having that kind of space is just important for strengthening our skills, for sharpening our culture points, for having, a vibe, for having safety, for having that protection, for having that ability to relate to one another. And so Lynette saw that in Boston, asked me to come host some open mics here as part of the events. And I did that for a few years. And then she was like, you got the right stuff. You take the weekend. And I was like, I don't know how in the world you have been doing this by yourself.
Right.
But there is no way that I can do that. I do not organize full time. I have a whole job.
Right.
So I put out a call to my community to say, y'all, who can help me to lead this weekend? And I pulled together some really great volunteers. And that's how we became a squad.
So is that how you got brought in?
Yes, it was. I came one weekend. I heard about it, and I came with a friend. And the camaraderie was incredible. Just the women coming together, and all of the events, the timing, the planning. I was like, wow. Not only do I want to come back, I want to talk to somebody about helping out.
Yeah.
And here I am, and I'm loving every moment of it.
What events do we got planned for the weekend?
Oh, we've had some wonderful ones already, but we have a pajama party. Ooh. Yes. I don't have lace, but I'll be there. And we have a gold party. We have a pool party with a fashion show. We're going to go to the monument and have a walk and have a look. So it's just wonderful. There's just little pockets of things. We're going to be doing things also with Gay Pride here this weekend.
Oh, awesome.
Go to some of their events so that camaraderie stays together. So I am psyched.
You forgot your assignment, the workshops. This is our workshop coordinator from the squad.
Yeah, we have several workshops coming up beginning at 10:30 this morning. Financial planning, relationship building, you name it. And other topics come up even in those workshops that we can really talk about and help women. It's empowering, it's fun, it's relaxing, it's just everything. It's everything.
I mean, even as a gay man, I remember the first time I was in a space surrounded by people like me. So I think these weekends are very important to bring community together, be around like-minded people, and celebrate everything you have in common in a space that's beautiful and welcoming like Provincetown.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I think for us, the added layer is also about celebrating the things we don't have in common, right? And really thinking about the ways to talk about that and have conversations and dialogue and learn from each other on the basis of the things that we do have in common. That has definitely been an important part of our weekend for years now.
It's really exciting.
And as I'm an ordained pastor in DC and as a licensed clergy, I'm able to take the women to the water, smudge them, and release.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of little things that are indicative to who we are that we're going to be having this weekend. I'm very excited.
It sounds incredible.
Well,
I can't
you.
wait. I hope you all have a really fantastic time, and I'm sure I'll be running into y'all running around this weekend.
Yes, you will be. Thank you all so much for having us.
Good luck with your events this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We need all the blessings, the good weather that's happening out here. Claim it.
Right.
Yes.
I'm sure your team has it well under control.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's head over. We stopped by the barn at For 20 Summers. We're going to talk to Cecilia about everything they've got going on coming up. Good morning, everyone. We are here at the Hawthorne Barn, which is the home of 20 Summers. I'm chatting with Cecilia. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Of course. Thank you for coming to visit.
I want to congratulate you on a couple of weeks of amazing programming here at the Hawthorne Barn. What do we have coming up?
It's all been very exciting. So we actually have our next round of residencies coming up this weekend with their events happening on Saturday and Sunday.
Awesome.
Saturday, we have a artist talk with Indigenous photographer Matika Wilbur here in the barn. And Sunday is going to be a big combo of a vocal exploration workshop followed by a sunset dance performance.
Oh, awesome. So some of the programming even features some local artists and performers. Who do we got coming up?
So we have a great book talk happening on June 6th, which is for Isle McElroy's new book, People Collide, but she will be in conversation with P-Town locals, Pat Kearns and Patrick Nolan.
Oh, fun.
And then later on, to sort of finish out the season, local artist Mike Sullivan is going to come to the barn and do an open house, somewhat similar to what we see here, and then he is going to culminate it with a performance with Cape Symphony Presents on June 11th.
Awesome. How can people reserve spots there? Because I did see on your poster that we've already have a few things starting to sell out.
Oh, yes. Well, everyone can head to 20summers.org and they can find out all of the information, including participants and bios, and they can register for events, which are mostly free.
Awesome. I love that. Congratulations on an amazing programming for the summer. We'll be here checking everything out. Thanks for chatting with me today.
Of course. Thank you.
And I have to give a good shout out to Sean Robertson, who has this amazing installation hanging behind us. By the time this airs, it won't be here anymore, but I hope you checked it out. Stop over for 20 Summers. Go to the website and register for any of the events you would like to be at. They're filling up quick. Please welcome the Golden Gays.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Thanks so much for coming and joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
So y'all have a show this summer at the Red Room.
We do.
It's a game show. That's so exciting.
A musical game show.
Musical game show. Well, first of all, how long have y'all been performing as the Golden Gays?
Well, we got up at 6, so that's about, 3 hours?
Yeah.
About 3 hours. Our company started in 2017, and we've had different actors come in and play. Actually, Little Tiny Blanche here started, how about 6 months ago, a year?
Something like that.
6
Yeah.
months. 6
So,
months.
but since 2017.
Work. So tell us a little about the game show. How is it musical game show?
It is a musical game show based off of the games in the TV show Jeopardy. Grab that out, and then we threw a love connection for Blanche because
It's got to be on brand.
Yes, and so we do 3-part harmonies, choreography. We're the only musical Golden Girls inspired troupe out there. There's lots of troops. We're the only ones that actually sing and dance.
Let them know.
Yes, we will.
Exactly. Is it your first summer performing here in Provincetown?
No, it's like our fourth summer or
I
fourth
think-
time.
I think 2018 we did
November.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And then we pop over for a couple of days here and there. So we'll be here a little bit today, tomorrow, then a little bit in July. And then I actually have a solo show that I'll be doing. B. Arthur is Judging You. Yes, you. In August.
Yeah.
So we'd like to bounce in and then bounce out.
Oh, that's perfect.
Well, we tour about 200 days out of the year all over the world with our shows.
Damn.
We have 4 musicals that she wrote and I direct and choreograph, and she owns the company and I do all the bookings. And I do this.
Wow.
And she's married to me.
And I'm married to that. And then we just found this one in the corner.
Yeah.
And I'm just Blanche Elizabeth Deborah.
Yeah. That's it. The only one.
Now, I'm wondering, are you asking yourselves, where in the world is Sophia Petrillo?
Oh, what's this right
In all our
here?
shows, the role of Sophie is played by an audience member. So
you go.
maybe our Broadway star here. We've got the glasses.
Oh my God.
And then, of course, the rattan bag, which you noticed.
Sophia goes missing every single show.
Amazing.
So an audience member, yes, you, gets to become our token Sophia. And in the Golden Games, the winner of the Golden Games becomes Sophia.
Oh my God.
And it's quite interesting.
That is really fun. How do people handle filling in as a character?
Oh, we don't care.
Okay. So
no, they're really excited. Sometimes I cry. It's very surreal.
And then for a happy,
we had a crier.
Yeah, we had a
recently.
crier recently. I mean, they're shaky. Sometimes they're drunk. We used to let them speak, but we don't let them speak anymore. So they get to parade around and you get a photo.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Oh, it's exciting. It's very exciting. And because people are like, where's Sophia? Where's Sophia? And I'm like, you get to become Sophia.
The first one who asks get to be Sophia.
Exactly. Or the one we think is cute.
Oh, perfect.
Thanks, babe.
Oh my God, this is how did this happen so quickly?
It's like magic. Like we've been doing it for years.
Oh my God. So tell us a little when your show is going to be happening.
So we have a show this evening, Friday at 7 p.m. over at the Room of Red.
Red Room.
And then tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. over at the Room of Red.
Red Room.
Yes, and then we'll be back for Bear Weekend.
Oh,
I love a tight bear.
yes. And it's right next to the Ben and Jerry's if you don't know where the Red Room is.
Yes.
But we do have one more song.
Oh,
do we need to
please.
keep going? We'll keep going, right?
Yeah,
All right.
Right.
Great. You started.
Da, 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 da.
Thank you for being a friend. Everybody.
Da, da, da.
Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Do, do, do.
And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, like you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
My
It's what we do. It's how we roll.
Singing in the morning.
Oh, singing in the... Yeah, we had to get up real early to come here, honey. It's okay. It's worth it. We love
It's all right.
we
You
love
just don't go to
Provincetown.
bed and then you stay up all night.
Exactly.
You have to get up early.
She goes over to the Richard dock over there.
Oh, yeah, she was looking for her friend Richard all night. I said, Richard. She said, yeah, Dick Doc.
I'm sure
Good
she
old
found
Dick.
it.
She did. Look at her hair.
10 of them, 15 of them.
But please come to the show. It's
Yes.
really fun. It's 55 minutes of mayhem. So,
I'm interested. Where else do you perform around the country?
well, we have a European tour happening in September.
The world.
The world will be in California starting on Tuesday. Denver,
we have-
Colorado.
California, Colorado,
Oregon.
and back to Jersey.
We've done shows in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, the other P-town, although I love Providence. But PV is fantastic. So yeah, we
You're getting your
literally
frequent flyer miles.
Canada. Yeah. Oh yeah. We draw
Wherever the money's green or blue or whatever.
whatever color it is in whatever country. Pounds.
I have the link for tickets to the Golden Gaze right in the description below. Click it, buy some tickets. Obviously, it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. It is.
And make sure to warm up before. I wish I would have so I could jump in on those harmonies.
That's okay. We'll just bring you into the show if you come to the show.
Perfect.
If you come to the show.
And if you
When?
don't want to be Estelle, sit in the back.
Yeah.
No,
I'll still get you.
we'll still get you.
I'll still
You
get
can sit outside and we'll still get you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm so
Thank
excited.
you. Good job, Ma.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Well done, Sophia.
Let's head over to the Babes and Boys, find out everything we've got going on this
Babes
weekend
and
here in
Boys.
town.
Good morning, everyone. And I don't know about you, but I feel like this season is shaping up to be one for the books. So without any further ado, here's what we got going on this weekend. The Womxn of Color weekend is in town and passes are still available. You can feel free to go to womxnofcolorweekend.com for more information on those passes and events. And also, it's Pride Weekend in Provincetown. The PBG's 7th annual Pride Weekend returns. And for all the full listings, because you know I can't list them all here, I'm just one person, it's ptown.org is the website you are going to want to visit. There's a lot going on. Starting on Friday at Water's Edge Cinema, they're showing Furiosa and Babes. Lots of fierce babes at Water's Edge Cinema. Also, it's the 17th International Encaustic Conference hosted by Castle Hill. You can head on over to castlehill.org to find out more information. And diving into Pride, the House of LaRue is having a Pride sale all weekend long. All heels 30% off, so go say hi to Alan and the crew over at the House of LaRue. And there is Pride Bingo with Roxy and Lakia Mondale at the Governor Bradford starting at 3 p.m. And at 4 p.m. you can head on over to the Boat Slip where they'll be having Pride tea dances all weekend long, hosted by our very own DJ Mary Alice. Then at 5 p.m. you can catch Reimagining Queer Africa and join the Provincetown Business Guild in Obodo in celebrating queer African artists, as several Obodo artists' work will be on exhibit at the Provincetown Pride Center for the month of June. Then it's a highly anticipated event over the Provincetown Art Society and Mary Heaton Vorse House, as the First Look Provincetown starts at 5 p.m., which is fundraising for the Soup Kitchen and sponsored by Plush and Anchor to Anchor. Next up, I want to give a special shout out to Billy Huff, who got called out in The Guardian. Billy usually does his scream-alongs with Billy over at the Grotto Bar at 10 p.m., so go catch them out and keep up to date with all Billy's been doing. He's also back at the Gifford House on Thursday nights. I miss seeing you there, Billy. Then you can catch myself, Sam Sewell, and also DJ Mr. Zero over at the Red Room with the Full Spectrum Dance Party with house music and Afro beats. Come and hang out. It's going to be a fun night. And if you want to hop around, Glow Pop is also going on over at the Crown and Anchor, hosted by our very own Mackenzie. Also, DJ KT is spinning on Friday night at the Underground starting at 10 p.m. It's a jam-packed weekend because that's not all. Over at Purgatory, there's going to be a house party on Friday, and then an underwear party on Saturday, and a leather party on Sunday. Full list. Everyone is out and spinning this weekend. You have no choice. You gotta go to a party. And then the next day, you can catch the Pride Festival and Marketplace over at Town Hall to 4 p.m. where you can find queer artisans, and also myself will be spinning there too. Then over at the Crown and Anchor, there's gonna be the Andro Fashion Show and Pool Party as part of the Womxn of Color weekend. I've seen some of the social media for this, y'all. It's gonna be lit. After the Pride Market, you can join the Pride Rally at Town Hall and then sashay over to tea over at 4 p.m. on the steps of Town Hall. And at night, Tina Burner's gonna host the Disco Ball over at the Crown and Anchor. There's no cover. Come join us. Happy Pride. And if you want to get your run on, there's the Feet Over Front Street 5K run/walk series. If you're not going to get your run on and you're going out for your morning coffee, there's going to be a run in town. So, on Commercial Street, watch your step. Then at the Red Inn, they're going to have a Pride Week Painting P-Town and Jazz Brunch. It's the first weekly Painting P-Town event, and it's going to be held every Sunday from Memorial Day to Labor Day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Red Inn. Then at the Provincetown Brewing Company, there's the Mutt Strut. Also some good social media going out about that over at the Provincetown Brewing Company Instagram. This is going to be Sunday at 1 p.m. hosted by Mama JC. Mutts and Struts. Also, if you want to join Babes and Boys, and I think you do, over at the Gifford House, we'll be having our Passion Fruits Porch Playhouse Sapphic Tea Dance from 2 to 5 p.m. We're going to have some really cool performances by drag kings, queens, and everyone in betweens. So come on out to the Gifford House. And then over at 20 Summers in the Hawthorne Barn, join them in hosting Synchronous Creative for an evening of site-specific movement at 6 p.m. That takes us to Monday, and the festivities don't stop there because the Provincetown Cabaret Fest is in town from June 3rd to the 9th. Go check out provincetowncabaretfest.com for more details. If you haven't gotten enough trivia on, Harrison and Evan host trivia every Monday night over at 7 p.m. at the brewery. Then on Tuesday, I am so excited for this event. Wild Card is happening, hosted by Peter Toto. And there is a litany of people that I cannot wait to see. It's going to be a funny night of whatever the heck they are going to do over there. That leads us to Wednesday, where Experimental Wednesdays with Mike, Kevin, Christian over at Tin Pan Alley. And on Thursday, Cody's going to have his town meeting over at the Provincetown Theater as part of their solo show series on the 6th, 7th, 8th at 7 p.m. Back at the Gifford House, they're having their Glory Pole event. It's going to be 8 p.m. and it's P-Town's only queer strip night. Get ready for an unforgettable pole show featuring the hottest dancers and most bodacious babes. Yowza. Upcoming next, everyone's coming out with their full lineup of events, and the Love Lounge is no different. There's the full series of what you're going to expect for your piano bar. Also, the Provincetown International Film Festival is coming out next week, starting on June 12th, so get your tickets now as it's a hot lineup. And next week, Frolic is in town starting on the 13th. So pace yourselves. It's a marathon, not a sprint, everybody. Happy Pride, happy Womxn of Color weekend. And I know that there's a lot going on, but if you want to see your event listed up here, please feel free to reach out to us at babesandboys@gmail.com or on Instagram at babesandboys, and we will do our best to get everyone included. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend and drink water.
Thank you, babes and boys. There is so much going on this weekend. Get to town if you're not here already, and check it all out. It's Pride Weekend, Womxn of Color Weekend. Please welcome Rebecca Orchant.
Hi.
Author, sandwich maker, sandwich professional, burlesque star.
Yeah, there's
What
a
else?
lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
But congratulations, today is the day. It's been years in the making, correct?
Yes, actually, last time I was here, we were talking about getting the book deal, and now the book has been published.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's in the mail, so in the next couple of days, we'll actually be able to hold it in our hands.
They ship today.
Yes.
For everyone who pre-ordered.
Yes.
If you haven't pre-ordered yet, you can order one right now. There is a link in the description. So let's start. How did this all come to be?
So during the worst part of COVID lockdown, my best friend Sarah Flynn and I started a newsletter called Soup and Despair. It started because I was writing a column for the Provincetown Independent at that point, and I had just written my first one, and I was so excited about it, but also kind of nervous. And I had Sean, who's my partner, read it, and he was like, "It's a little heavy. It's like soup and despair."
Where we are right now, you know?
And I was like, rude. But then Flynn and I had a conversation about it, and we talked about how often we use food and feeding each other and shared meals as a salve when times are hard. So we started this newsletter. It was then weekly, now a little less than that. But my publisher, Patrick Davis at Unbound Edition Press, who has been a friend and regular of Pop and Dutch for a long time, was reading the newsletter and reached out to me and said, would you ever want to write a food book that wasn't a cookbook for the imprint? And I was like, that's the only thing I know how to write. So, so I did. And now it's here a couple of years after that initial conversation.
What is the tone of the book? Sean said it was a little dark. Is it a little lighter now, or?
I have always had a very dark sense of humor, so I think it is both dark and funny. It's a memoir. It's called Simmering, a kitchen memoir. It's a memoir about learning how to be queer and myself in all of the kitchens where I've learned things and loved people and been taken care of. But it's also, you know, there are some sad things in it. There are some intense things in it, just like life. But there's also a little bit of humor and a couple of very useful tried and true recipes in there as well.
I feel like you have to kind of have that like dark sense of humor to survive in a kitchen.
Same.
Right.
I mean, we're freaks.
Right. Restaurant people are a breed of their own. I recently found out a friend of mine had worked in restaurants, and I was like, no.
You?
And I was like, no, I don't see that. I don't
You're
see
so
that. Yeah,
sweet.
exactly. So you're also performing all summer long.
Yes, I do burlesque as the Duchess of Sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people have confessed to me they did not get that the joke was that I own a sandwich shop.
It's a very multi-layered joke.
They thought I was from Sandwich, which is
on the Upper Cape.
Right.
And I was like, that's not funny. That's just a place.
Right. But what is funny is Sandwich, the food, and Sandwich, the place, are both named after the same place.
Yes.
Which I learned when you co-hosted trivia with me.
Yes. Which is a province in England. And the reason that sandwiches are called sandwiches is because the Earl of Sandwich, theoretically, was the first person to smash some meat between two pieces of bread because he was too busy gambling to be bothered to eat a full meal.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Duke of Sandwich and Sandwich, like, I get it. It's very, I get it.
I always got it.
Yeah.
Jokes are always the best when you have to explain them.
Yeah, fully. Yeah. I mean, jokes. I mean, there's like historical stuff in the joke, which we know people don't know. So.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Burlesque is for nerds. So speaking of which, all of the nerds at Helltown Burlesque, it's our opening weekend at the Post Office Cafe. Our dear, sweet producer Spooky is in charge, wrangling all of us. Yeah, it'll be a rotating cast. I'm doing a couple of them every month, so keep your eyes peeled for show announcements on Saturday nights at 10 p.m.
Starting this weekend?
Starting this weekend. Starting this Saturday.
At the post office.
It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah. And how is everyone's favorite sandwich shop, Hop and Dutch, doing?
Sandwich Shop is great. It's up and running. I left there 5 minutes ago, and I will be back there in 10 minutes. It's great. We've got a great crew this year. A lot of people came back.
Yeah.
They're all so cute, and
You've
so are our
got
customers.
Mackenzie, my housemate Andrea.
Yes. Andrea's the best.
Bill.
Yeah, Bill's a new addition. I'm so excited that Bill's there. But it's great. We're working on some new stuff for the summer. Our current special, the Celine Dijon, has been selling out every day. You people are so excited about that one.
What's on the Celine Dijon?
Celine Dijon is this really sweet French bistro ham we got this year. Dijon mustard, brown butter, cornichons on like a French baguette. It's a perfect beach sandwich.
You're my supplier for voodoo chips as well.
Great. I will always keep them in stock.
Yes. You also have an event at the 20 Summers. I do think it's sold out, but
it is sold
tell
out.
us a little about that.
So I get to do a reading and be in conversation with one of my dearest friends, Billy Huff, at the Hawthorne Barn for 20 Summers. That's on June 8th. In the daytime. It's going to be a little party. We're going to have some pimento cheese. We're going to celebrate. And then I'll probably try and throw us all a little like friends and family thingy, maybe a grotto bar or something, just so we can party and celebrate and not at a sold out event, which I'm very excited about.
That is really exciting. A bummer if you don't have tickets though, sorry.
It's going to be fun. We'll tell you about it.
Yeah. So you can support Rebecca in so many ways. Go to Helltown Burlesque, buy her book. The link is in the bio right now. You can click on it. It takes you right to the page where you buy it. Stop by and get a sandwich, get some voodoo chips. You're doing so much. See her titties. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. I know you have to rush back to make sandwiches.
It was a pleasure. I'll come anytime.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Let's head over to Sean with the weather.
Good morning, Brittany and Harrison. It should be a stunning morning here in the west end of P-Town. And happy Pride. We are in for a real treat weather-wise this weekend. But before we get to the forecast, I have spent the last week wandering around town asking people what they think the song of the summer will be.
The song of the summer is People Ain't Dancing by Kahlo. Hope is the song of the summer is the Saltburn soundtrack.
Espresso.
Definitely Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter.
The song I want it to be or the song it's going to be?
Well, what's it going to be?
It's going to be Espresso.
By Sabrina?
Yeah.
And what do you want it to be?
Not that.
It's Miley Cyrus Ocean with Calvin Harris. It hasn't been released yet, but it will be.
My song of the summer is Worth It by Ray.
Stargazing. I don't know.
It's Kid Leroy's new song. It has not come out yet, but it's going to be the song of the summer.
MacArthur's Park by Donna Summer?
What is the song of the summer?
I don't think we know yet. The Ariana Erasing Her Boyfriend song. I like that one. Yeah.
Billie Eilish, Lunch.
Billie Eilish, Lunch. Billie Eilish is Lunch.
Same. Lunch by Billie Eilish.
Yes.
Billie Eilish and her new song Lunch is the clear winner. But do we think the results are skewed because it was Ladies' Weekend? Take a listen to the song if you don't know what I'm referring to. Either way, the whole album is amazing and worth checking out. Speaking of ladies, so many I spoke to this weekend said they had an amazing time all over town and especially on the party boat this past Saturday. I was out on my boat and got some great footage of the party underway. Last weekend's weather was stunning, and I'm excited to say I think this weekend will be even better. We'll see clear and sunny skies with temps in the 70s through at least the middle of next week. It should feel like summer is already here. Quick reminder of the Pride Rally and Sachet to Tea event at 4 p.m. this Saturday. Glam up, meet at Town Hall, and join the crowd as we walk up Commercial Street to the boat slip for dancing and celebration. Everyone have a fabulous weekend. For those of you in town, I will see you at Tea. Brittany and Harrison, back to you at the brewery.
Thank you, Sean, for the weather. It's going to be a gorgeous weekend in P-Town. Make sure to get here. Please welcome Blaze and Caleb. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. Y'all are in town for Pride Weekend.
Yeah.
So how did y'all come to town? I know the PBG kind of got you here. How did that happen?
I mean, it's been a long discussion for like over 6 months. We've been working on an exhibition collaboratively, and it's so exciting to see that come to life today. And we're here for that, to talk about the work of the amazing artists we'll be showing, and also create more awareness about LGBTQ issues in Africa. And yeah, that's why we're here.
It was your birthday this past Wednesday. Did you enjoy spending it in Provincetown?
I did. It was amazing. And I felt so special that day, because after that day, the weather got like so bad. So the sun was out because of me. So
exactly.
Yeah, so I went to the beach. We had like this lovely bike ride. Yeah, it was super amazing, and I spent time with beautiful people. People are super nice in Provincetown. I mean, they look at you and they smile at you, and like, I'm so pretty.
I love that. Caleb, is it your first time in Provincetown?
It is.
Nice.
Going great. Came here last night, and it feels very like tucked away from everything else.
Oh, so you haven't quite gotten a chance to
No,
explore
I
yet.
haven't.
That's today's plan?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would take it around.
I'm not an expert, so
y'all have been friends for about 5 years?
We have been, yeah, and we've collaborated as well throughout different organizations.
Yeah. So you both work for two different organizations, but with kind of similar objectives.
Yeah.
You work with Minority Africa.
Yes.
Tell us a little about that organization.
Yes, so Minority Africa is an online publication, kind of like any other. We just cover minorities on the African continent, and so we're in about 7 countries with team members. But our work kind of like spans all across the continent. We publish 1 or 2 stories every week, kind of like long form features. We don't really cover breaking news, but we're kind of like more like in depth on breaking the news is sort of what we call it, right? Just being able to sort of look in depth at the lives of people who are often ignored in like mainstream African media.
Totally. You currently live in Salt Lake City, but I heard a rumor.
You did hear a rumor.
What's the rumor?
Well, the rumor is that I'm moving to Boston. So I was in Salt Lake.
We'll be seeing you a lot more in P-Town now, right?
I'll be waking up here every night.
Just move here.
I know.
What's bringing you to Boston?
So I'm moving to Boston for a PhD. So I was in a master's program at the University of Utah, and then I'm moving for a PhD at Northeastern in media journalism still. So that's kind of
really
cool.
Blaze, tell us a little about Obodo.
Oh yeah, Obodo is a youth-led organization that is focused on using art and culture as a means of advocacy for LGBTQ in Nigeria. For context, it's illegal to be gay in Nigeria. It's about 14 years in prison, and in the northern part of Nigeria, you can be stoned to death for being gay. So it's a harsh reality for LGBTQ people. So for us at Obodo, we are trying to celebrate the resilience, the joy, and I mean, just like the various life experiences of queer people in Nigeria through art, and creating space for us to commune and just be ourselves. Yeah, so basically that's what we do. And this year we have a lot of interesting projects we're working on, like an artist residency, a community library, and just different community focused events. So yeah.
So in Nigeria, you can also be arrested for suspicion of homosexuality. How does that work?
I mean, technically in the law, it's if I mean if you are perceived to be gay, it's an issue, and if you display any sort of affection with someone of the same sex, I mean, in the law, even if you owe someone of the same sex, it's illegal actually. So yeah, but it's not been enforced really. Although the police would use that to exploit and also like extort gay people. So directly, it's not been enforced. It's just been used once or twice, but indirectly, the police uses that to like censor and also like, yeah.
Do you feel like public opinion is on your side? Do you feel like it's changing?
No,
Not fast
no.
enough.
I think just like other parts of the world right now, Nigeria has always been far right, and it's moving like further to the right. So the public opinion is, I mean, maybe with young people, things are like moving slowly to the positive direction. But yeah, a large number of the population are still very much anti-LGBTQ, and they're like protests against queer people, and it's not just something that people would be interested in.
Do you feel like the politics in the U.S. has affected the politics there? As we are kind of, I don't want to say we're moving farther right, but there's a big conversation around.
I think politics in the U.S. is affecting everywhere. It's affecting everywhere, and you also there are like groups in the U.S. that are funding anti-LGBTQBs in Africa, in Uganda, like in Ghana. So these very rich evangelical groups here in the U.S. like pumping so much money into that place, and also
Chick-fil-A is a huge.
I mean, yeah, it's so sad to like hear that, because I was in the US in 2022 and got to realize their involvement in the anti-gender and anti-rights movement. So I think US politics generally affects the. I mean, it's so bad that the US has so much power on other like parts of the world, and I think it's important for us to reimagine that, what it would look like, because yeah, whatever decision made in the US actually affects a lot of people, maybe directly or indirectly.
Right. How do y'all plan on enjoying Provincetown today?
Matthew's taking me to the beach.
You're going to the beach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then a breakfast place, actually.
Yeah, we're supposed to get breakfast.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
I'm sure Trevor and Carmen have a full fun weekend planned for you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Have a really fabulous time in P-Town. Thank you to my co-host, Brittany.
Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you to our sponsors, the Crown and Anchor, the Provincetown Business Guild, Shipwreck at the Brass Key, the Boat Slip, as well as the Provincetown Business Guild. And thank you for waking up in Provincetown, wherever you are. We'll see you next Friday.
See you.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown.